How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today I wanted to talk about some of the things that are going to hurt you if you don't know about them, right? Or if you look at it from the wrong perspective when you're trying to stop drinking alcohol. The first one is that alcohol is only a means to an end. You know, if it wasn't for alcohol, if it wasn't alcohol that you were drinking, if it wasn't alcohol you were using, it would be something else. It's a tool that we're using for an inner purpose. You know, there's something inside of you that is creating this need, this want to drink alcohol. And it's not the alcohol that's creating it. You know, as I say, the alcohol is really just a tool for the job. You know, take the alcohol out of the equation and leave all the frameworks, the thinking behavior, the way you're thinking. And the problem is still going to be the same, except with something else. You're looking for an outside solution to an internal problem, right? Now, there's a great book called Easy Way to Control Alcohol. And that's by a guy called Alan Carr. And it's probably the only book that I'd recommend anyone read about quitting drinking alcohol. But he should have written a follow-up book called The Easy Way to Handicap Your Life, right? Alcohol in big words. Because, you know, alcohol really is, it's that thing that will, if you've got any ambition, if you've got any enthusiasm for life, if you've got, if you want to do stuff and achieve things and achieve the best quality of life and become the best possible version of yourself, right? Alcohol is going to handicap you big time when you're doing this. And, you know, I know there's people out there who are going to say there are benefits to drinking alcohol. Believe me, I know, because I was one of them. You know, I was one of these people who said, you know, drinking is a part of my life. It's a part of who I am. It's a part of my culture. It's a part of being a man. It's a part of, this is who I am as a person, right? And I remember stopping smoking and thinking, I will never stop drinking because of what it does for me and what it gives for me, the benefits. To be honest with you, it's the same situation as Hans Christian Andersen's, I think it was him that wrote The Emperor's New Clothes, except that we're dealing this from an adult perspective, you know. Nobody wants to look stupid because they're buying into this poison, this mentality of, you know, you see people drinking. I remember when I used to work behind the bar and there was some guys came in. I think they were from the States, and one of these guys ordered a round of drinks and he wanted to buy the most expensive whiskey in the bar, right? So this, I don't know what it was, a Jameson something or other, and I'm sure it was around 40 euros or 40 pounds at the time per shot. And, you know, in Ireland, you're not getting a big shot. Here in Spain, you get a big shot when you're, you know, they fill up the glass for you. But in Ireland, no, it's a measured, they give you a measure in it, so it's a measured shot. And this guy got the shot, lined up the shots, can't remember how many it was, but he ordered a Coke and put Coke into them, you know. And it was like, I never understood that mentality, but I never understood the mentality of the guy that will spend hundreds on a bottle of wine or a bottle of whiskey, or, you know, because it's all the same shite at the end of the day. It is that Emperor's New Clothes mentality. So look at it from that perspective, that alcohol is just a means to an end, right? It's somebody who's looking for an external solution to an internal problem, right? Something is missing inside, or there's an internal need that needs to be filled, and you're looking for something outside of yourself to do it. And the next thing is this attitude. I hear a lot of people saying that they can't stop. You know, that it's just they go for such and such a day and then they can't stop. You know, the evil alcohol takes over, or, you know, there's something else that takes over them and they just, it's like a robotic thing and they go down to the shop. The only person that can stop is you, you know, and it's your decision whether you go to the shop and you buy more alcohol, you go to the pub and you buy more alcohol, you don't, you know, and whether you have to do that day after day. See, we're stuck in this sort of a vortex that has been created, certainly for all of my life. And I've been grown up with, whenever you hear somebody with an alcohol problem, it's AA straight away. And that mentality that if you have a problem with alcohol, then you've got a problem with alcohol for the rest of your life, right? Regardless of when you stop drinking. Now, I think that's bullshit. I call bullshit on all of that stuff because, I just don't see it. If you have a problem, if you focus on it, and if you try and get rid of alcohol, but you live the same life, you try and get your buzzes the same way, then you've got a problem, right? Then, alcohol is quite possibly going to be your biggest enemy for the rest of your life. But if you change your life and you go outside of, the old thinking and you change that thinking, you change your framework, then the possibilities for you open up. Right? It is all a head thing. It's a mind space thing. It's you changing your attitude to say, well, I can do this. Another one is, a big thing is that fear of people. They don't really want to change. They want to stay in the narrow framework of life that they're living in. They want to hang around with the same people. They want to do the same things, and they don't really want to change that. So that's the thing that holds them prisoner. It's not the alcohol. The alcohol just happens to be a part of that circle. So you've got to change so much about your life when you get outside of this. And, it is, for me, it brings me up to that third point, which is alcohol is just the beginning of the journey or the end of a journey. So you get an end where you stop drinking and you start a fresh new journey. But that new journey has to be started. It has to, you've got to go forward with this with a plan, with an idea of where you want to go. You've got to go forward with it with knowing that the opportunities are there open to you, that there's a lot of possibilities open to you now. So for me, it was like opening my eyes for the first time. I swear to God, it was just one of those jaw-dropping moments once I got past that initial phase and I just started learning more and more and more, and it just opens up the opportunity both inside and outside of yourself, right? So you've got an external journey that you want to achieve. There's certain things that you want to do in life, places you want to go, people you want to meet. But the biggest journey is inside. This is the biggest journey that I've been on. This self-discovery, if you like. I know it's probably an overused word, but just discovering your potential, your possibilities, discovering that you can expand your expectations to meet higher and higher standards, that you can go forwards and you can succeed in life. Life is tough, life is full of a natural anxiety. That's sort of leading into my fourth point, which is that, stopping drinking alcohol is not the end of the problems in your life. It's not a magic bullet, stopping drinking. You're not going to automatically get this this wonderful life once you stop drinking. It's like, well, everything's cool. It doesn't work like that. There's, it's, the problem with alcohol is that it causes a lot of problems, right? And those problems can accumulate. So once you pull out the alcohol, you're not causing any more problems, and you're not causing this accumulation of problems to grow any bigger. But you're also not doing anything about the problems. You've still got all these problems to deal with. Now, cutting the drinking out of the equation means that you've got one less impediment to you moving forward and to you being the best person that you want. As I said, life is just being born in this world is going to give you this sort of existential anxiety just because you're born and that you're going to get older. At one stage you're gonna pass along to somewhere else, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. But that in itself gives you a certain anxiety. Just being around other people, that constant need to be social. That's a form of anxiety that everyone has. There's that type of anxiety that is there, but for most people who drink or take other drugs or whatever it is, for them it's like hiding in a cage because they saw an animal in the distance with big teeth, and they're trying to hide now for the rest of their lives. They don't want to face up to that truth about life. But it's facing up to certain truths in life that will give you that route to finally being fulfilled, to finding things inside yourself that are going to lead you to a massive fulfillment in life. You start living your life on your own terms rather than on the terms of some unknown billionaire drug dealer, right? Illegal drug dealer, but that's what they basically are, you know. So really, I mean, I say this all the time, that quitting drinking alcohol was the best thing that I've ever done in my life. And not just because it helped me physically, it helped me to get rid of the pain in my side, and it helped me to get rid of all the other negative effects that alcohol was causing. Not just because it helped me to become a better dad, right? But because it helped me to see the problems. It didn't help me to end the problems, but it helped me to see the problems that were there, instead of burying my head in the sand and pretending that they weren't existing and that they'd magically go away on their own. They never went away on their own. They just got worse and worse and worse. So just have a look at it from that perspective, that alcohol is a means to an end. That if you take the alcohol out and you don't change the mindset that caused the behavior in the first place, you're still going to have the problem. You're going to switch it out for something different, you know. The second thing is that you can do this. When you tell yourself you can do it, that's also a choice. It's also a decision that you make. Number 3 is that quitting drinking alcohol is an end to one part of the life, right? It's the beginning or the end, depending on your perspective. And, you know, everything else after that is, for me, quitting drinking alcohol is just that one part right at the beginning. And then it's all about changing things and moving forwards and just switching things around. And just because you quit drinking alcohol, it's not the end of the story, right? It's not going to magically cure all your problems, right? It's a big start. It's a massive start, but it's not going to cure everything. So think about those things, and I will speak to you again soon. If you need my help quitting drinking alcohol, there's a link down below to our book, 10 Steps to Stop Drinking Alcohol. You can get that on alcoholmastery.com. If you want to join our Habits Unplugged program, which will take you all the way through from preparation, through your transition, where you stop drinking alcohol, and into, we've got a massive collection of videos there which will help you in transformation. So transforming yourself from that mindset of being a drinker into basically not giving a fuck about alcohol anymore and moving on to the life that you want to live. So take care of yourself, keep the alcohol out of your mouth, onwards and upwards.